Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm your host, Money Brown. I am joined with Paul
Hey, how's it going?
and Bailey.
Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So, how you guys been? How you guys chilling? What you guys doing?
Doing all right, man.
Lovely night.
All right.
Pretty decently. Nothing too much. I know I've been gone for a while. It's been a lot of time just working hard and other times hardly working.
Well then, Pele, you go over your week first because that sounds probably more interesting than my week.
I'll go over my last 4 weeks because I've pretty much been... Well,
Has it
first
actually
off,
been a
start
month?
off. Yeah, it's been a month.
All right, go for it.
First, start off. I've been trying to get through my back catalog of both shows, movies, and TV and video games for the starting off pretty much the first week. I'm doing alternate weeks of both focusing on games and the other week focusing on TVs and movies. Through games, I made some progress. Still haven't done too much because the games I currently have are insanely huge, so they're taking a bit. Currently still going through Midnight Suns, almost beaten through that. Playing through High Five Rush for that one.
Great game.
I know Dead Space just recently came out. I still need to buy it. Haven't gone through it. I've been playing It Takes Two quite a bit with Aaron. It is surprisingly long for a co-op action platformer. It is fun though, really fun.
Oh yeah, they knew what they were doing with that game.
Yeah. Playing a little bit more Monster Hunter World, kind of get through past that. We're City Girls. Together, as a group, we've actually beaten Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yep.
Shredder's Revenge. Yep.
That was fun.
That was fun, yeah. Pretty quick on that. Beyond that, in terms of games, that's pretty much what I've gotten to go through. Mainly for the TV shows and movies, though, I did get through that. I finally watched all the way through my shows I've been missing. Watching The Last of Us, still enjoying it. Watched all of Season 2 of Legend of Vox Machina, really great. Can't wait for the next season when they get to it. Let's see. Oh, in terms of animes, finally caught up. Watching Trigun, the English dub, really enjoying it quite a bit. Can't wait for the fourth one introducing Nicholas D. Wolfwood.
I'm so torn about that. I'm not even gonna front. It's my biggest problem with Stampede is that like none of the mystery is there, like at all.
No,
It's just there's like no nuance to any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's no mystery because all the story beats reveals are going to probably be the same. But the thing is,
So the English is out now, though?
Yeah, the English
only
stuff.
3 episodes.
Yeah, it's only 3 episodes.
I'm only on episode 2. Shit, I'm gonna start that.
So this is the interesting thing I found out about Trigun. If you're reading from the manga, from the original one and Maximum, including the first anime and this anime and the movie, not a single one of those are a true adaptation of the other.
Okay.
They're all different in some way or another. Yeah. So it's really confusing and interesting because there's no point of reference you can ever fully grasp of what's the true story. There is a sense of true story, but it's never fully linear.
Like the beats are the same, but not exactly
the beats
how
are the same,
it's told and what they do in it are very different from like version to version.
Yeah. The original anime series differs from the manga pretty early on. The movie had nothing to do with the manga at all. It was pretty much its own side story, and this one is apparently taking place before the events of the manga, leading up to the town of destruction of July. So like it's doing its own thing in the same universe. So like, okay, very very confusing. You're trying to get a narrow sense of where the core story is. The animation's still fucking great.
Oh yeah,
it's really goddamn impressive.
Amazingly.
And Johnny Young Bosch is still great as Vash, and I just love it. So, and I seen a clip of the dub of introduction to Nicholas D. Wolfwood. Holy shit, they buffed him.
What do you mean they buffed
I cannot
him?
wait. You'll see when you get to it.
I mean, I've been watching some episodes, so I've skipped ahead because I just decided to just continue on, regardless. So I've seen some stuff that I've been looking at and being like, I don't know where that came from.
No, they buffed him. They buffed him from the anime quite a bit. His Punisher cross is not just a massive cannon.
So I've been seeing some things. I'm like, all right. It's kind of cool. But I want to know what's up.
Yeah, I'd like to see what more they do along with it. Watched that. I've caught up on. I'm catching up on Spy Cross Family at the moment, trying to catch it up before the movie drops.
Oh wait, maybe I'm
There's a
dumb.
movie
There's a
coming
movie
out.
coming out. Okay.
Yep. There's a lot of movies coming out for anime stuff. Like, oh, okay, gotta catch up. Shit.
Yeah, I think Level of War is having one too, and I just finished that one up as well. So that one's kind of nuts.
I gotta catch the that time I got kind of slime one. I finally caught up on. Oh yeah, started watching a new anime that started this last year actually, and kind of finally got through with 12 episodes. Really cute. Boccy the Rock, which is a anime about a high school girl who has extreme extreme introvert. Like she cannot stand anything of social interaction whatsoever. He doesn't even like dislikes working. She it's both cute, funny, and very relatable at times, especially at moments during early on where she thinks about any past memories and starts beating her head against the wall, which is something I also did in school too.
Oh,
pesky memories, damn you!
Get out,
Get out. It's really well done because the anime is style. They change up the style drastically. The jokes are really funny. The presentation is amazing. There's just one scene where she freaks out at the prospect of having a social media account, and there's a scream when she's glitching out in it. And that scream was not edited in. That was a pure scream made by the voice actor. I was like, whoa, that's impressive.
Okay, so how did what was the name of this one again?
Boccy the Rock. Bocchi the Rock.
Okay.
It's really cute. It's really fun too. I'm actually hoping there's a second season for it because it's really dope. It's really fun and dope.
I haven't checked that one. I'll have to look at that one because I haven't looked at it yet. What else you got, man?
Let's see. Oh yeah. Caught up watching a few movies. Finally watched. Me, Paul, and Leon watch Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Yep. And in terms of other movies I finally caught up through, what did I watch? Oh yeah, last anime I was watching. Pretty much been going with my friend pretty much the past 4 times we've been watching. Past 4 weeks I've been watching it through was my friend every Saturday, going through the entirety of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure from part 1 to parts 6, right?
I think 6 is where.
Yeah, that's where the anime stops at Stone Ocean. We're currently on Stardust Crusaders, and man, it's great rewatching this shit. It's so.
You forget
how much
about certain things.
Oh yeah, no, you do. Like the amount of like English wording they put into it just for like shits and giggles. We repeat often. Like the first time I hear Dio says "Goodbye, JoJo," like when he drops him down the chimney, like that's funny. The oh-no's, the weird situations, the naming convention, because since it's all based off of like 80s pop culture references, I know that. Oh man, it's just JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is great. The insane poses, insane situations, and as a lot of stigmata, a lot of Jesus imagery appearing in the fucking show too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I'm on season 2 right now, about halfway through. It's really good.
Battle Tendencies, yeah.
Let's go.
Just started. It's cool. But yeah, I've been watching that. I'm eventually gonna try to get through seeing the original anime dub of it, if it's still around, the OVAs, and if I'm feeling ballsy, the live action movie.
You don't even have to go through some of those.
I know, but I want to see the differences in what they did, because the early 2000s, JoJo apparently was decent. The OVAs existed around the 90s.
The OVAs are
and
wild.
The movie yeah, the OVAs I know are wild. So I just want to see the differences that they did.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been pretty much my 4 weeks catching up on details for it. But yeah, go ahead, Paul.
My week has been kind of cool, I guess. I finished on Monday or Tuesday. I finished Yakuza Like a Dragon after like 2.5 weeks of like non-stop. Like I would go to play it for 1 hour, just give myself a little bit of time, and then it turned into like a 4 to 9 hour binger. I don't have a job, and so it like kind of just poured myself into it, my depression and whatnot, and actually it helped a lot. I don't ever want to do that with another video game. That was a complete waste of time, quote unquote. But it was also like necessary, and it helped. And it ends on like, without spoiling anything. I talked about it before, but it's that whole like thing about like look up. Like just because you're at rock bottom or just because you've hit a low, it doesn't mean you stop. It means you're never too old to stop and keep going. And it just like, I don't know, man. It was a beautiful ending. It was a beautiful game. I'm excited for Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man with no name, or the man who lost his name.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Like a Dragon Ishin, and I'm excited for Like a Dragon 8. Next year?
Yeah,
Next year. Next year. That's right, because we get the one about a certain guy this year that I won't spoil. But yeah, no, I'm in the series, and it's funny. I told you guys this. I went to start Yakuza 0, and I just couldn't do it. I was like, I need a break.
Oh yeah, no, those games are not meant to be played back to back to back. That is how you burn yourself
It was great to start again. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. But I had to.
Yeah, don't pull what I did of playing the entire Tomb Raider series, the newest ones, in one go.
Yeah,
all 3 of them.
So where I'm at now, though, is like with gaming and stuff. As I told you guys, I'm trying to get into like a new JRPG, and I'm looking at the Legend of Heroes series, starting from the very beginning, or reading a summary, blah blah blah. But then it dawned on me, I'm like, I'm paying for Crunchyroll, right? Mm-hmm. I'm either gonna get a new game.
Try a Western RPG.
What's up?
Try a Western RPG instead.
He's got the JRPG mood specifically.
Well, I got the JRPG mood specific, but here's the thing. I also have, Red Dead that you got me, Long Dark that you got me, State of Decay 2, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm playing through a little bit here and there. Then there's Signalis. There's all these games, but what I'm getting at is like I could either get in that JRPG shtick that I want to scratch that itch for, right? Or I could shut up and go on Crunchyroll and watch all these animes, and instead of spending hours on a new game, just watch some anime. And I don't know, it kind of clicked. I was like, it clicked about 30 minutes ago. I was like, I really want to watch anime again. I haven't watched it consistently since like 2015, and I think it's time to go back, And so here we are. I'm just going to watch a bunch of anime, and but besides that, Malazan, I'm in the final 200 pages for book 7. I've been on it for just over 6 months now, 6 months and 4 days. And I've made the decision I'm going to finish it up, and I'm going to move on and finish the next 3 books in 6 months, and then just be done with the series. I love it. It's been a while. I had fatigue and this and the other, but what I told Amani yesterday was this. It was the only reason I really haven't finished it is because I love it so much I don't want it to end. And I know that when I reach the end, that catharsis is going to really hit me. You know what I mean? I've been reading this series for 2 years now. I love every character. I haven't forgotten anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to hit like a freight train when it's over. So, yeah, man, I'm just chilling. Besides that, what else is there? Not too much. I'm doing good in personal life. Kind of like, I don't know, man, this like past week, just like, I've been in a rut for a while because of things going on, but I just started writing down ideas, and that led to some ideas that I won't announce yet regarding pay per play action that me and Amani also talked about. We're pretty much on the same page, and it's like, it's cool to see that this podcast is becoming this beautiful thing. I'm glad I didn't leave. Once upon a time, I was going to leave, and that was only because of my own stresses and things like that. And I talked to you about that, Amani, if you remember, and I'm glad I didn't. But besides that, I'm not really reading any comics or mangas. I kind of quit reading Hoshinengi. I want to finish it at another time. What was I going to say? Yeah, just writing ideas. It kind of brought me out of like that depressive state, and I kind of like. That's right. Today I had. Here you go. Here's a beautiful thing. Friends here listening. So, one of my aunts texted me today, and she was like, "Oh, did you get a therapist yet?" And every time I talked to her, the last time I talked to her and I asked for advice, because I was in a low, I was like, how do I process this stuff? Oh, dude, here, watch this video on anxiety, and here, call this guy, you need a therapist. And I was like, that's not what I asked for. So it was nice today to wake up and she texted, "Did you get a therapist yet?" It was nice to type this out. I didn't send it, but it was like I typed out, "No, I didn't because," and I kind of just got to chronicle to myself this whole journey I've been on from this past year and a half since my breakup. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it I realized just how far I've made it, just how far I've done it, the change that I have done for myself. And again, I'm not cramming this down anyone's throat, but I could not have done it without God. To my view on it. So he gets the victory, not me. I'm a completely different person. It was nice to sit there and realize I don't have to prove this to this person. I don't have to prove it to anybody. I put in the work and I did that shit. That's me. You know what I mean? And by not just me, it was him. Boom, boom, boom. I'm a new person. It was this I had just woken up from a nap. She sent that. I got that text and typed that out, deleted it, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good now. I'm not back. I'm going forwards. So we're not sitting resting by the creek anymore. We're walking on the path. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see where life goes. I'm excited to be alive, and I just yeah, man, things are going. I'm excited to see what happens. So that's my week.
All right.
Good to say I'm walking out of the dark times into the light.
I was glad to hear it.
Yeah.
All right. So that leaves me. So
yeah. Good luck following that. No,
so I played Wanted Dead. That was a cool game. That's it's quirky. It's quirky shit. Okay. So basically, we thought that this might be a spiritual successor to Ninja Gaiden or something like that. It's actually Devil's Third.
Yeah.
You said Wanted Dead?
Which is not a great example to follow.
No, but it feels like a Suda51 game. It's so weird.
You said it's called Wanted
plays
Dead.
Feel fine. I know it's a third person kind of hack and slash.
It plays relatively well. It plays action wise, when fighting in melee combat, I actually think it feels fun. I think shooting's a little it's a little clanky. It's a little more to be desired. Enemies rush your positions a lot, but you die pretty fast in this game, which is not a bad thing, but it's but enemies are kind of bullet sponges too.
I was gonna ask, does it operate a little bit like a roguelike where it just kind of continues and you die and you continue back into it really fast?
No, it just has long checkpoints.
Okay.
Part of the difficulty is the checkpoints are spaced out a decent amount. Entire rooms full of waves of enemies could be locked behind one checkpoint, right? And then you get through that room, another room, and then maybe the next room after that will be okay, we gave you a checkpoint. you can rest easy now. It's the difficulty is not it's not artificial, but they definitely want you to deal with a lot more than most games do before you get the chance to go all right, you've earned it now.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched a review from IGN, and the guy ends the video, and he sounds like, for everything else, Wanted Dead, check IGN. He gave it a 4 out of 10. He was not happy to review it.
Yeah, no, he was not.
All right, I have never seen this, and I'm like, oh. All right, continue though with your.
It is.
Yeah,
it really just depends.
A
lot of there's. I've looked around. IGN didn't give it a very good review, but a
No.
couple other places gave it decent reviews, which is why I was just it seems that the general consensus is that it's a tough game with some weird little janky bits about it, but it's so weird. It's an acquired taste. I would not recommend it to everybody at all.
Oh no.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah.
Another example like that with a kind of a similar review example was the Sunken City, a game I quite enjoy, but I cannot recommend it for anybody just going into Lovecraft or.
You talking about the Sinking City?
The Sinking City,
yeah. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. That game is dry as shit. You really got to be into that kind of game and that lore in order to get into it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because the world just
Because a huge part of
I loved it though.
Yeah, I love it.
A huge part of Wanted Dead is for instance, the voice acting in it is awful. It's trash.
I know. I seen the demo that you played, Amani.
But it's so bad that it's this has to be on purpose. It's one of those things where it's just too bad to be taken seriously because the whole game is
it Resident Evil 1 bad? Is RE1 bad?
Kinda, sorta, yeah. It's just you couldn't have written this. No one would have written this script normally. This has to be done in a certain way because of the way it is. It's too quirky. If that makes any sense. Like everyone's
Dude,
too
this isn't.
weird.
You know what this is giving me vibes of? Have you ever seen The Lobster or The Killing of a Sacred Deer by Yorgos Lanthimos?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
If you haven't, Amani, it's on purpose quirky with shit acting to tell like deeper themes and story. This looks like an avant-garde like art piece. Now that I'm watching like the 30 minutes of footage.
It's like
the same people who did Wanted Dead also did Valkyrie Elysium and Shinobi Strikers.
Well, that's funny.
That's interesting.
Really
and
interesting.
Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. What the
That
fuck?
game is apparently pretty decent. I never get the chance to play it.
I'm very confused. Like, what the fuck? This is like a interesting variety of
Yeah,
stuff.
what a weird variety of games.
You said Suda51 did this, right?
Mm-mm.
No. It's like a Suda
It's
51.
like
Oh, okay.
Suda 51 games are like super weird and quirky, and sometimes the acting is stupid, but like it's meant to be that way. You know what I mean? Like it's all meant to be weird and like avant-garde, like you said.
Yeah.
Huge part of it is like the fact that like your main character is this Russian chick who I didn't even know was Russian originally until I started hearing it.
She don't sound Russian.
No, she sounds
doesn't-
Russian in the game, but like
She doesn't look
she
Russian.
doesn't
Oh.
look Russian, and everything about the
Maybe I
game
just haven't heard her
until I
voice.
press play didn't indicate that she was Russian until like I'm hearing her talk and I'm like, so that's a heavy Russian accent that just wasn't there the entire time.
Let me rewind and see.
But yeah, the basic premise of this game is that you're a ninja cop. Like, what? You're a part of a special task force known as Zombie Squad, which is made out of a bunch of like arrested ex-military like mercenaries, and you're meant to just kind of go into situations that involve like extreme terrorist organizations and stuff and just deal with that. And I'm like, I'm a ninja cop that's running around with that's doing gun katas and sword stuff. And he was like, while being a Russian chick who's leading a team of, I would assume is like a womanizing psychopath, a death demolition guy. And I don't really know what the other medic guy is. I haven't really figured him out yet. He just seems weird. He was like, but it's a vibe. So far, it's a vibe. I've been enjoying myself with it. That being said, like I said, the gunplay is a little right? Like, that's not really my favorite so far out of the whole game. It's half the game, honestly, but the ability to switch between the two is the deal. So, some rooms you'll walk into, or some enemies that they'll throw at you, they'll send like a mixture of like melee type enemies versus like ranged gun type. And you can kind of just figure out pretty quickly that you're meant to burst fire and things like that, even though they give you a ton of guns that kind of don't want you to burst fire, but you're supposed to, so that you can actually hit your targets. Enemies are very kangaroo-like, is the best I can describe it. They pop up, or gopher-like. It's like playing whack-a-mole, actually, sometimes, where they pop up and pop down just as quickly as anything else, and you're just like, wow, okay, well, this is kind of difficult, and I play third-person shooters, like, and shooting you guys are kind of annoying a little bit. But it's meant to be hard, it's meant to be difficult, it's meant to have, like, these weird things. The weirdest part about the game to me is that despite its difficulty, sometimes it's really easy, and sometimes it's really hard. Like, the spikes are real, and sometimes they're just from room to room. It's like, you'll finish one room and be like, man, I can't wait. And then the next wave of enemies is like, that guy literally kicked my ass in 2 hits. I'm like, I don't know how to deal with that. But I think it's cool. Like I said, I can't recommend it to everybody. I don't think it's not jank. I think the shooting's a little jank, but like for the most part, like the game,
It's a rough around the edges.
it's a little rough. But I wouldn't say it's a janky game, if that makes any sense. It's like so. There's aspects of it could be better. It's definitely an acquired taste. If you like, I really want to mention this. If you like things like Suda51 and really get into that kind of stuff of like the weird, let's just have fun while doing cool action stuff, but like it's quirky in these weird ways, types of games.
Yeah.
Then you might get into this one because it's not bad. Like it's genuinely just not a bad game.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
is was it Takashi Miike? I've not watched any of his movies. I've seen clips and trailers and analyses on him though. But he's the one who did 13 Assassins. What's called? He did the movie of Blade of the Immortal, like the live action. He also did what's it? I'm looking at it right here. Not 13 Assassins. Sorry, it's like something Itchy the Killer or whatever. It's like a banned movie. He does like hyper violent and Audition. He does these hyper violent movies that kind of seem to flow like this. It's like specific, and you can't really recommend it to everybody. But if you're in it, you're in it. You know.
Yeah. It's like, so I definitely would like to say if you liked something akin to if you love the character Travis Touchdown and anything that involves No More Heroes or I want to say Killer
Lollipop
is
Chainsaw.
Dead. Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw, Killer is Dead. If you like games like that, those games, Killer is Dead is so fucking weird, bro.
Yeah.
I love that game. It doesn't make any sense.
Wait, which game?
Killer is
Killer is Dead.
Look that up.
That game is it has a lovely art style.
That's a definite Suda 51 game.
It's such a fun
really
game to
weird.
play. The plot makes no sense.
Nope.
And I understood it. It doesn't make sense.
Nope. This is not something like convolutedness. No, it just doesn't make
Sense.
sense. It's just crazy. It's just straight crazy.
It's like, look, I know you had to fight this dude on the moon. He's your brother. Get ready.
Yeah, like here's the thing: people say, "Oh, it's like it doesn't." The Metal Gear Solid, Kingdom Hearts stories don't make sense.
No.
They're just extremely convoluted. If you work towards it, you'll get it. You cannot get
No,
this.
yeah, Killer's Dead doesn't make any sense at all.
But it's good.
It's good.
Right?
It's super fun. You're gonna love.
Oh yeah,
every
it's
minute
great.
Of it.
Just don't try to
But the
comprehend
moment
it.
you try to comprehend it, you're gonna break your brain. You're gonna be like, "What the hell is happening?
Okay.
Why is this dude on the moon with a cod piece? How did I get here?" I was like,
Gotcha.
he's like, that guy has a gold arm and leg, and he's chilling. I don't even know how he got cybernetics. That's weird. My arm's a wire thing. Technically, it's not a demon, but it's, I don't know. He's like, I have it, I guess.
Suda 51 is a developer of style, not sense.
For sure. Some stuff. And then, what was it? 3D? Or D3? D3 is cool.
D3
I'm so
is
sad it never got another season. But
yeah.
that was his
I was gonna say
Telltale style
Shadow of the
game.
Dam.
Shadow of the Dam is
Shadow
another
of the
one.
Yeah.
You're trying to. It's Resident Evil. It's Resident Evil 4 in hell, but you're trying to save your girlfriend with a shotgun.
with a shotgun that talks and is also a dick.
Yeah, it's also a metaphor for a dick. But it's like not a hidden metaphor for a dick. It's like a very blatant metaphor for a dick.
Yep.
The game is.
There's a whole
it
sequence
is a metaphor,
where
but the
you
game is screaming at you that it's a dick.
Oh yeah, no, because there's a whole sequence in Shadows of the Dam where you call up a sex hotline, hold up to the gun, he gets hard and extends like a whole meter up in the air.
I gotta see this. Is this also Suda 51?
Yes.
Yes. He's insane, but he's great.
Games are super fun, but they're not for everyone because they're just weird.
They're just fun though. They're just great. Just don't think too hard is all.
I gotcha.
The only one I would say probably the most straightforward, but still, I guess most understandable story is probably Lollipop Chainsaw, but that's made as a parody. I would believe.
Lollipop Chainsaw and No More Heroes are the two that I can honestly say you can just kind of play and get. Because No More Heroes is quirky, but it makes sense. You're like, hey, look, you're an assassin trying to go up the rankings, right? That's the deal.
Yeah.
And then you're like...
Kind of like a Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
Not Samurai Champloo. No, Afro Samurai type of deal.
Yeah, you're very clear on what the plot is, even if everything around it is strange. You're like, nah, this is easy, right? Like, I get it.
So... I'm greeted in Shadows of the Damned. I have the full game playthrough here. It's like a 6-hour game, and it's like some dude, the Lord of the Damned, is like this dude who has a skull that's 3 skulls stacked.
Yep. His name was what was his name? It was something stupid, wasn't it?
Let me see.
I think it was something. It was some L. I forget his name. Leonard, something like that.
I'll say here in just a moment. It's he drags the body, and then I saw him stand up. I was like, that's dumb. Fleming,
that's
Lord
it.
of the Demons. I was like, wow. Okay. There's a couple jokes in there, I guess, already.
It's also extremely perverted, but that's also a Suda 50 staple.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, part of the reason why Travis is even trying to become the top assassin is because he wants to get laid.
Yep.
That and revenge for his friend that got gunned down randomly at his video store friend.
Like, hey, you're my friend. Cha!
He's like,
I will avenge you. That's pretty much that's the whole shtick right there. I think it's been a while since
the first game is I want to get laid. The second game is you killed my friend. That's at the video store. Me and him have discussions about anime all the time. Fuck you. And he's still trying to get laid.
Yep. Number one priority.
It is the number one priority. I have not played 3, and that's a crime. I need to play 3.
It's a Switch only title, wasn't it?
It's been like ported to other stuff too.
Oh, okay, it's on PC. Okay,
I need to play 3. I didn't play Travis Strikes Again. I wanted to, but at the same time, I was also kind of like, I think I can sit this one out from what I understand about it. It's like I think they genuinely like we're kind of setting up the next game, but not really. You know what I mean? I think the main thing that wanted me to actually play it is I wanted to play as Shinobu. I was like, I'm down to play as Shinobu again. That's pretty fun. I want to do that. Shinobu's awesome.
Is that Steve Plum in Shadows of the Damned?
Yes.
He's Garcia Hotspur.
Yes.
He goes, admit that your endowments are less than my own, and he rubs it like the Fleming rubs this giant bazooka he has, and it's like, wow, yeah, that's not hidden at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the game is screaming at you that it's a dick, but it is a metaphor.
Yep, nothing subtle about it at all.
Gotcha.
By the time you get to the end of the game, you're like, it's a dick. I promise.
How it ends is also like a little confusing for me narrative wise. But it's also like not even made of a joke. It's a little somber, I guess.
It's a strange game.
Yeah, it's a very strange game, but I liked it. It was great.
Oh, I'll say because I mentioned it before. I finished Love Is War. I caught up on Trigun Stampede.
Hey, Kaguya-sama. Yeah, you get ready for the movie?
I am ready for the movie. I can watch it now. Though to be fair, I guess slight spoilers, but not really. Like this is the end. So I don't,
I know
what the movie's gonna do exactly, but this is the end. So that's gonna be fun. I'm actually kind of glad to see that this has a proper ending. To be fair, it's one of those ones that's like, this is super fun, but you can feel how this as a concept, as a manga, could have gone on forever. There's no reason for them to have ended it at all. Like, if that makes any sense, you're just kind of like, oh man. Seeing that the third season actually has a proper ending, I'm like, thank you. That's all I need.
I mean, it's exceedingly rare for any like anime, especially like slice of life stuff like this. It's very, very rare they actually have like a definitive ending because it's 4-panel mangas. They're made to continue on as like joke comedies or continuing growth. Sometimes there's an overarching story, most of the time there's not. That's why 4-panel mangas are some of the longest running ones you will ever see.
I think the ones I can think off the top of my head that I've watched is probably like Shuffle, Nisekoi, and this one have like proper endings. Mm-hmm. And I don't agree with Nisekoi's, but it's whatever.
The one kind of slice of life kind of romance one I've actually watched and also read through and through was the one anime called Kiss Him Not Me. It only lasted for one season in terms of the anime, but it actually has a definitive ending in the manga. And I was like, oh, that's dope. They actually have an ending, and the main protagonist actually decides on a love interest. So yes.
Do we know if Don't Bully Me has a definitive? No, it's still going, right?
Don't Bully Me, that one's still going, yeah.
I need to see what the ending of that one's going to be. Now, if that one doesn't have an ending, I'm going to be hurt. I just need it to.
Yeah. More, it's a very likely chance that it's probably not going to have an ending, but again, it's always up in the air when it comes to these. Some of them do, some of them don't. For example, one anime I liked way back when, Himoto-san, Yumaru-chan Himoto Yumaru-chan. Mm-hmm. That one only has 2 seasons, but it's still ongoing as the manga, with a couple spin-offs along with it.
Damn. That one's not ending anytime soon.
Yep, so it goes Miss Kobayashi. Yeah, also Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is still going as well.
Does that count as a romance?
I mean, it's in Yuri.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I've never watched it, but it's such a weird. Like every time I hear about it, I get like weirded out slightly because it's like half the cast, half the people that are talking about it are like the dragon's a child, and then the other half is like it's an adult that just looks like a child. And I'm like, I don't know.
No. It's multiple. I'll explain it. It's multiple dragons. There's the main one, Toru. She's the maid dragon maid, who is in love with Miss Kobayashi.
Okay.
There's another dragon that comes in, lives with them. Her name is Kana. She's a child
Kana's the
dragon.
child one, but that's the poster.
Yes.
That's Loki, the poster child. There, everyone pays attention to her.
Yes, yeah, because she's great. She's quiet. She's cute and okay. You know how a lot of people like want like she's an anime character. So there's waifu and all that such. Yeah. Kana's an example of a daughter food. I want her as my daughter.
Everyone just is like, she's adorable. I need her. Protect her. I get it.
Yes.
Cool.
Protect her at all costs.
Because that's the thing I wasn't understanding about that. Is that it's like, is she the main dragon? Because I can understand that.
No.
Like,
no, Toru is the main dragon. She's the daughter character that gets inserted into it, but everyone immediately falls in love with her.
Okay. That does help a little bit more to understand Dragon Maid. Because that is definitely something from like an outside opinion that I'll be like, I don't know if I even want to check this out exactly, because it's just not clear.
No, it's the show's wacky, but it's really heartfelt. It's really cute and extremely well done. It's also like it was a miracle the second season even came out because it was part from the same studio whose director was killed in that fire.
Oh, right. Ago. Okay. Yeah, no, I remember.
That's why I said it was a miracle the second season even came out.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, another example of a cute anime that's just extremely well done, both animation-wise, voice acting-wise.
Yeah, that was what's weird.
Everything.
I saw some of the fights and was like, why is it going in this hard? I thought this was a slice of life. Why are we having?
I mean, Boccy the Rock goes hard in a lot of weird animation because it goes from 2D to 3D at random points just for joke bits. Even does full-on references to other animes because there's a clip of her getting attacked by crows and she ends up in the Yamcha death pose.
That's funny. Actually, Boccy the Rock reminds me a lot of. There's an anime called. It's not. I can't remember the Japanese name, but I remember the English title. It's Not Your Fault That I'm Not Popular, which is weird because I'm pretty sure I read the manga for that. I don't know if it's done yet, but that one was fun and weirdly it's cringe. it's but it's like it's the best way I can describe it is the show is not cringe. It is the plot, the situation she is put into or is trying to get herself out of are cringe. Like you're watching it going like, no, please, no, don't, no, oh, why would you do it like this? But they want you to feel that way. It's very much intended. You're just like, oh, I want you to succeed in everything you do, but every time you try, it just
it ends up horribly.
It's just, why is it like this? It's like I think one time she's trying to like have a conversation with like another boy. She just genuinely wants to attempt to have a conversation with a boy. And so what she tries to do is I think she tries to use like something sweet to give her like a scent. And when doing so, someone spills a drink on her. She's like, damn. So that sucks. So she gets ready to fix herself up. But she can't, like, she just dries it. She doesn't, like, wash it. She just manages to dry it. And so then ants start, like, attacking her, essentially. They're not attacking her, but they're, like, she has, like, an encounter with it. So then, once she gets done with that, she goes to talk to the guy, and, like, she has ants in her hair, but doesn't realize it. And you're like, oh, no, why? Why is it like this? This isn't fair. You're just sitting there going, like, oh, jeez, like, why? Like, this... None of this was really your fault. It just And
happened.
so the guy's instantly creeped out and is like, she's got ants in her hair. Why is it like this? Do something. He's like, does she know? I was like, I don't know if she knows. It was funny. Besides that, I've been playing more Metroid. I called it Metroid Dread. Metroid Prime.
Remaster for the
Switch.
Switch.
The remaster is real nice. Real nice.
So I gotta get it.
It's like $40, man. It's like, for sure.
I know. I'm broke right now.
I know, I'm just saying it's $40. It's a good price.
And 2 and 3 are also coming out too. I can't wait for those.
Did they get announced? I'm assuming they are.
Yes, they did. No, they got announced.
Are they coming together? I'm assuming they're coming together.
I don't know if they're coming together. They might do separate. I will say this though.
Drop them like the other ones.
Yeah, if they here's the thing I'm a little apprehensive about because of the notes of remaster for it and it's $40. I'm a little up if they sell it separately, the $40 each. That's $120 for the whole series.
True, but it's being remastered.
It's a little like
I can understand how you say it might be predatory, but there's literally A, no other way to play these games, and B, they're remaking them completely and reworking the controls for them to work properly.
Okay, second one I agree. First one I dislike that notion because like there's no other way to play it. Like that part is predatory.
It is predatory, but genuinely there is no other way to play it. Like you can try to, and it's not. A part of that is not actually their fault. A part of it is, but a part of it isn't actually their fault. I believe that the Metroid trilogy was released for the Wii, which exists. It exists. It's just hard to find now. And then the original ones on GameCube, good luck trying to get a copy of that. You know what I mean? So It's just like, I'm not going to say that it's inherently their fault on this one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and at least they're not doing that stupid thing that they did with Mario Sunshine and that collection, where it's like, we're only putting it out for a limited amount of time. I'm like, what?
You say that, but the fact that they did it with Mario and they might do it with Metroid, I cannot
There's
hold
no
it against
rules about. They haven't said anything about Mario being a limited release. I mean, not Mario. Metroid being a limited release. It's just out.
Yeah.
You could just play it. They're like, hey, it's out now. It'll be out later today, is what they said when the announcement came out. And everybody was like, oh, wow, okay. And then it was just out. So, there's no limited time release, any crap like that with Metroid. It'll just be here because genuinely doesn't make sense to do it any other way. I mean, and they kind of did it with Mario, which is stupid, but there's no other way to play those games, and it's unnecessary to make a scarcity for something that, you could just have.
There's also digital scarcity, which makes
less sense. Now there are legitimately, like, my Switch does not have Mario Sunshine on it, which makes it less valuable than someone's Switch that does have one on it, and it doesn't make sense.
I have a physical copy, so it's mine more valuable.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. It's like, why did you do it like this? You could have just had this forever preserved on the Switch, and then when someone decides to play something else or it gets ported down the line, you could just do that. But, whatever. They've already done it.
People have issues with preservation with Nintendo, so like that's a whole conversation argument all over again.
But Metroid Prime is not any of that. I'm hoping that the
as far as we know,
they literally said it's not a limited, like it's not a limited release. Like there's nothing, there's no date on it, because that was the thing with Mario. When it got announced, they said that it was a limited release, which everybody looked at and was like, why? Like, why is it up until this date? Granted, it was a decent amount of time for you to go get it, but it was so weird because it's like, why would you take it off the store? Just leave it there.
In the first
place, make money the whole time. And if anybody gets a Switch after that point, they can't buy the game. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, we know it's with Metroid Prime 2 and 3 coming forward. Now we just need actual news of how things are moving along for Metroid Prime 4.
Well, we know that Metroid Prime 4 got restarted. And honestly, it's probably better that they remaster and put out those games first, because it's not like anybody could play the other three. So it's like, you kind of want to catch up on the story first and then be able to play the fourth one, because it's the fourth one. It just seems like the thing you would want to do, which is what people were hoping anyway. They was just like, hey, do the trilogy again, right? But the idea that the crazy part is they're taking the time to do the individual games, which means you get them in their original forms, which was something that wasn't available for the trilogy. Trilogy was apparently like a little bit worse because you didn't get those original startup screens and all those other like little features that came with the first ones. They just had ports of the game pretty much. Everyone was like, okay, well, I can play it on Wii. But it's good to see. Glad to play more Metroid Prime. That game is still immaculate. It's ridiculous how much the remaster didn't have to change anything as far as like how it looks. It's crazy. Like, looking at a comparison, if you go back and just look at a comparison for Metroid Prime and then Metroid Prime Remastered, they spoofed it up. They made it look nicer, but like, they didn't have to do much. Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, mechanically wise, it's still great. Like, you didn't have
they made it for modern controls, which helps. Like,
which helps a lot, especially with The C stick for the camera. If I remember from the GameCube era, it was a little stiff, but hopefully they improved from
No,
there.
they did. It feels more like a modern shooter, but with lock on, which is fun.
Nice.
It just does it correctly. You can use the right stick to just move the camera and strafe around and move properly,
Nice.
as you would in any other shooter now. So they just took the time to just buff it up a little bit and be like, all right, we good. Like, everything's straight now. So if Metroid Prime was a 10 out of 10 back in the day, it's 10 out of 10 now. It's just that simple.
Yep.
They just buffed it up, so it's just as good.
Can't wait to get it eventually.
I think the other thing I played was...
it's gonna be either that or Wild Hearts.
Yeah. I want to play Wild Hearts. I really want to play Wild Hearts, man. That price tag is the only thing that's keeping me... That makes me want to not, but I want to support it because it's a new hunting game, right?
Wait a week. Buy it once the patch comes out.
I have no problem buying it on PlayStation, but I'll wait the week, pretty much. It's just... I just don't like that price tag. But I can wait the week. Plus, it'll be fine. Like, it'll be better if I wait the week anyway. It's just one of those things where it's just like, come on, man. But yeah, I guess we'll just say that real quick because we kind of just glossed over it a little bit. So, anyone that wants to play Wild Hearts right now, wait, because currently the PC version is not running the best. Apparently, there's been some reports of some hiccups on PlayStation, but from what I've seen, not really as much. Like, it seems to be fine for the most part, but apparently it has some hiccups here and there. But the PC port for right now is not good. It's not well optimized. Is the best thing we should say. It's not that it's not good, but it's just not well optimized at all. It's having tons of screen tearing and frame rate issues. I'm correct, Bailey?
Yes, performance issues and for the screen tearing quite a bit. It actually lowers the FPS down significantly for the game, which for a game like this,
you need the frame rate.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at Wild Hearts and thinking about getting on a PC, wait a bit. If you're looking at it on PlayStation, or is it on Xbox?
Yes, because it's on Game Pass.
It's on the Game Pass?
Yep.
Damn, I forgot it was going to be on the Game Pass. Well, that helps.
Yeah, that means you don't have to pay for it, but again, I still say wait.
Yeah, just wait for the patch to come out. Make sure that everything's straight. Makes the most sense.
Actually, let me just double check that it was on Game Pass. I could be wrong.
I think something else is on Game Pass, but
I know Monster Hunter Rise on Game Pass right now. That's about it. Nah, it's not going to Game Pass. It is not.
I think
I was looking at something else. It's Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart is on Atomic Heart, and I think it's Wulong. Wulong is coming out pretty soon after. It's also on Game Pass. So is Redfall.
Yes.
So that's fun.
Yeah, Redfall, I'm not surprised. Wulong, I'm a little surprised for it, but yeah, we'll see how those go along with it.
But
yeah.
Besides
that's your week.
Yeah, okay. So I played another Steam Fest demo, which was Dungeon Drafters. This is I think the last one I was able to get to. I just didn't really manage to get through any other ones. This is a tactical RPG with a card-based system. It's a tactical RPG roguelike card-based with a card-based system is the deal. So the idea is that you are one person moving throughout many different rooms that have different setups every time. Like the screen just transitions every time. And in those rooms, there might be a battle, there might be some treasure, there might be anything. But when you get in there, it transforms into a grid-based battle in which you are moving your character and using cards to attack. You have your own deck. There are multiple different characters with their own different decks. I have, in the demo alone, there's like 6, I'm pretty sure. And I could be wrong. But there might be more, actually, if I'm wrong. But yeah, those 6 characters have their own unique decks that you can mess around and toy with and play around with. I spent most of my time with like the monk because we punch things around here. But that was fun. He was really fun to mess around with. He had like a fire range. It was weird because it was like a lot of it was like area of effect type stuff. So everything hit around him, or he can do like a jump. He had like a jetpack jump that he could jump out of one area, like set it ablaze, and then land in another area and then cause an impact. Like, just little fun things. It was just like a fun little tactical RPG. It's really cute, really nice art style, really nice sprite work. Genuinely. I would go check it out. Super cool. Wishlisted if you get the chance. Definitely a good time waster, like, just in general. If you like your roguelikes, check it out. I've also played another tactical roguelike. I'm playing a lot of tactical RPGs apparently lately. This one's a CRPG, but it's a roguelike still. Well, not exactly. Your characters stay alive. I recently went through a fight. Not actually a roguelike. I take it back. It's mission based, and so a lot of it involves you going out on little quests, and you have to go through the full quest before you can go back home and prepare. It's all about, going back, preparing, making your party, going back out.
It plays like a typical tabletop RPG. Instead of a central story, though, it's mission to mission.
Yes. That is Stolen Realms. That game is fun so far. I've been really enjoying it. They really like the emphasis on character building and stuff like that. Builds is key, and so is party building. So, if you want to make your character a broken ice monk, because I guess that's what I'm using, so I'm going to go with that, I guess. You want to make him a broken ice monk? You can, but that might not get you through if he's just an ice monk. Maybe you need a healer. Make a necromancer cleric. I didn't make that one, but Pele said that one, and that one's fun. the idea of that is fun. He was like, and they can help them out by staying in the back and creating minions to fight everybody else while healing.
Based off the description, it sets up similar to that of your typical tabletop RPG, where it even has full-on dice roll mechanics and item pickups for it. It's pretty cool. It's a little bare bones in your typical one because there's no central story along with it. That might come to change for it. It's early access at the moment. Yeah. The very thing we are expecting is definitely more classes.
Oh, definitely more classes, and they're having a lot of fun. There's actually a decent amount so far. I think there's like 5 off rip, which it's 5, and then there's 6 different trees on top of that. So you can mess around and go in any direction with any of those. Genuinely customize your class. There's no move is particularly locked behind anything, so you can just kind of mix and match whatever you want. Kind of figure out what you want to do with certain characters. You can make yourself an elemental super mage, right? If you wanted to, you can have all of them. You're like, I do every magic. That's all I do. Or you can specialize yourself a little bit and make yourself like a particular thing. Maybe you hybrid class it, whatever you want to do on whichever thing. It can be fun. I think the biggest part about this, the biggest up, is that this has 6-player co-op, and like we said, they really do want you to build teams, not just characters. So, obviously, if you build yourself busted, and your friends build themselves busted, you might have some good synergies going on. But if you don't, I still think the game's balanced around just base. If you're like, I just want to be a normal monk, they allow you to do that. You'll be fine. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to actually just start playing that in general with like a group. You know what I mean? I just want to see what a proper co-op thing with that goes. The other thing is I finished Escape Academy with Aaron. Did the last level. That was fun. We were literally at the end, and then we had to stop. Sad. So now we have to have He Who Shall Not Be Named and Davon do it, and that'll be the fun thing. We will keep you updated as they play.
Don't forget the DLC.
We're not going to forget the DLC. We are going to go and try to do that at some point, but I got to go get the DLC first. But for sure, I need to see those two do it, because that looks like it'll be funny. But besides that, that's it for my week. That's everything I was doing. So, without further ado, let's get into the news. Okay, so I do want to talk about this off bat. We're just gonna choose and pick and choose because, we're kind of tired. So the first thing I'm gonna mention is this new 404 game reset game that's being done by Yoko Taro because I have to. It's like my job. So the deal is that nice little story behind this is that Yoko Taro approached Sega and was like, I want to make a game where Sega's the villain. And Sega was like, why? And it's like, what if we used a bunch of let's say anime girl versions of previous personifications of all your fun stuff you guys used to make back in the 90s and before, and we use that as the protagonist, and that it's a dystopian world that Sega has taken over. It's a it's a corporate dystopia, and Sega's like, you know what? That sounds crazy, but we like it. You got yourself a deal, so that got greenlit.
Yeah,
This
you
is
son of a
such
bitch, I'm in.
Yoko Taro thing. I didn't watch
Yeah.
this. I'm not gonna lie. The docket, I just skimmed past it. My God.
So that got greenlit, and I'm kind of down for it. I can't wait for this to come out.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
That's literally what Sega said. It might as well just be the thing. It's like, you son of a bitch. I'm in.
I can't wait to see Outright just become a sudden villain, or like Sega has like a police one that says like the Outright cars is rushing through Sega Town, snatching people up.
It's just so stupid. It's so great. It's just so dumb,
Bro.
but it's so great.
What is Yoko Taro wearing, bro? I know that's his
It's
thing.
Yoko fucking Taro.
I know,
He wears
it's
what
just,
he wants.
it's so weird. Seeing, what's the name of the smiling?
Oh, Emil. The Emil head.
Yeah.
He really did make that his thing. He just took the Emil head and was like, this is it.
It's creepy.
Japanese game developers, I think they end up being more auteurs than freaking film developers, man. It's insane.
Yeah.
We have Kojima, we have Suda51, we have Yoko Taro.
Yeah. I'm not knocking it, man. I'm a big Yoko Taro fan. I love Nier. I just, like,
It's weird.
every time, like, one day he's got to show his damn face, you know?
I mean, he did.
will, he
He
will.
used to. The deal is that, like,
Yeah.
ever since a certain time happened, he just became this. He's
Dude,
like,
404 reset or game reset, it's like text is the same as Nier. So it's like an action game like Nier, but it's
Mhm.
Sega. Like, that's odd. That's such a weird
It's very
idea.
meta. It's very meta.
I can't wait to play this stupid thing.
I don't know. Oh, I know exactly.
Coming
Dude,
to
in these interviews with Yugen, right? I know what lenses they're using. That's the SLR Magic. It's a cinema lens that is super budget friendly that people have been using because it saves on budget, and then you can do expensive looking things for cheap. That's awesome. That's what I want to use on my next photo shoot.
I was gonna mention like coming to mobile devices near you.
Yoshi has a
Oh, it's a
Akira as
mobile
stand.
game.
Yep.
Oh, ew.
Can we talk about her becoming using Akira as a stand? Straight up, she is Virtual Fighter. Oh, that's gonna be funny. This is gonna be hilarious. I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait. I want to try this out so bad. The Virtual Goblin just has the light gun. Let's go.
Not surprised on that one. Sega has a very, very, very deep arcade history, so it's going to be interesting what they're going to implement for this one.
So this is going to be a fun one. What's another one you guys want to mention?
I want to talk about this weird thing that Blizzard's doing with Overwatch, making a dating sim game out of their characters.
So,
only 3 of them. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering if I was gonna get a chance to yell at Blizzard for being lazy. Though to be fair, I guess technically speaking, being lazy isn't the least of their worries.
They're still technically lazy at it because they only have 3 characters.
Oh no,
only
yeah,
3
it's
of them.
super lazy, but like also not the least of their worries right now. They definitely have other things they need to be like actually dealing with.
Yeah.
We have.
I mean,
not
hey,
forgotten.
I mean, oh no, absolutely not. I'm just saying, like, in terms of they have at least they're doing something semi-creative with a dating sim. Because to be honest, a lot of people have treated a lot of Overwatch characters as waifus for quite a bit.
Waifus
Granted,
and
though, the
husbandos,
choices
there's both.
husbandos, yeah. The 3 characters we get in this dating sim is Genji, Hanzo, and Mercy. Only 3, which is a shame because there's a lot others I'm pretty sure would want to
Not
go
only
for.
is there a lot
But
others,
yeah.
but they're illustrated, and it is a I forgot what the title.
Light novel.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was no, it's not light novel.
No, not like no. It's a dating simulator for it. It's a Lover Watch. It's called.
Yeah, but I'm blanking visual novel. That's what it is. I was blanking
Visual
on the
novel.
genre
Visual novel.
it's called, which is why I'm like, it's a visual novel. So like, the laziness is the fact that it isn't just everyone. Like, let's be real. It's like you could have did it. It's not that hard. It's a light novel. Not to dunk on any light novel like creators out there, but like, you guys know you can kind of produce that out
You
with
had-
the team that you would have.
Yeah, here's the thing. Light novel characters have, like, what, up to maybe 4, maybe a way more characters you can go for in terms of relationships.
And
you
different
have 3.
endings. You don't even need really different
Yeah.
endings on this. You just need to be like, okay, follow this romance until you get to the end. You did it.
Granted though, I know they did this as a little bit of a joke for the Valentine's Day thing, but the fact that they're expanding on this and actually releasing it is like, you're putting more effort than this to think, but apparently still not enough in comparison, if that makes sense.
It's not enough. You chose 3 characters of the entire cast. How many people are in Overwatch at this point?
Oh, hey, no, you know what? It's a better comparison. Remember the fucking Dead by Daylight dating sim?
Yeah, that one's, yeah. Did that have
What?
That's better than... Yes, no, not everyone, but had the butch, the chainsaw guy, had the trapper, and Ajomo, the Phantom, had those 3.
Had those 3. They could have did more.
So it's similar to that one, but that was a pure. Yeah, that was pure as a.
Way less people involved.
Yeah.
And
I just find it hilarious. That's all.
It is kind of funny. Do better.
I wonder if this is going to continue on other trends, because I would not be surprised on the road if somehow they make another dating sim out of a franchise with a bunch of characters and out of the blue. Like if they do a Call of Duty dating sim, that'd be fucking
considering
weird.
Riot's right here and they're making a bunch of games, maybe they should just do that.
Oh, hey, I'm cool with that. League of Legends dating sim, I'm pretty sure people go hard on that one.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I feel like enough people would. Especially if you had like certain people in certain outfits, certain costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Blizzard, do one with World of Warcraft. I'm pretty sure that can sell well.
It would. It really would. Somehow it would. Can I just get a dating sim with a collie? Actually, can I just get a game with a collie in the graffiti candy skin and just make the whole game a graffiti game like that? That'd actually be really cool. Just, please, thank you. Just do that, please.
Oh, no. I think I actually know the real developers are going to do it next. Smite's going to have a dating sim where you can...
You're right, it
gods.
would be fucking Smite. Smite would be the one that would do it. Like, I'm mad. It totally would be Hi-Res Studios. They would be so on that. The fact that they haven't gotten on it is actually the crazier part. What about you, Paul? What's something you want to mention?
I actually wanted to mention something that's not on there. That I just saw earlier today. So in 2035, Batman enters public domain.
Ooh.
And where Winnie the Pooh is in public domain, and that's why we have that horror movie coming out. I'm actually looking at a list of things that are coming out, or that are entering into public domain, and so like what's called Scarface enters. I think that's it's a novel based on Al Capone.
Wait a minute. If Batman enters in, 2035, Superman must enter, like, not much earlier.
But exactly. So that's the thing, though, is it's like, so all those things we've wanted to see that DC's been slacking on, whatever they copyright, I think, based on, like, Batman, their properties of it, that's going to be theirs. But if it's in public domain, that means, dude, we could do a Batman movie. You know what I mean? That's like cool. I mean, I would do a Batman movie where he's a drunk and incompetent, like hero that has to come back. But no, I'm kidding. So you know what I'm saying? We can do that.
He just became Iron Man.
You know what I'm saying? Though it's like that's just I know that's not on our docket, and that's like inconsequential news. But I was like.
Fun. It's a fun fact.
I was actually going to mention this because I actually looked at this about weeks back. One specific public domain, one specific piece of IP that's going to public domain that's scared quite a few people for it. Steamboat Willie, the very first cartoon that ever increased Mickey Mouse, is coming to the public domain.
Yeah, that's on
but
the
not
on the
Mickey
list
Mouse
too.
himself.
No, because that counts as a copyright because that is a brand. That's a different
Mickey
thing.
Mouse is a brand.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Interesting. I guess like Mickey himself wasn't actually called Mickey in that cartoon. He just called Steamboat Willie. So, weird. But I guess it works. You think we're just gonna get a bunch of Steamboat Willie stuff that involves like Mickey, but like still
Mickey murdering people? I don't doubt people are degenerate.
The first thing they did off rip with Winnie the Pooh was make a horror film. It's the first thing. They're like, say less. This is what I've been waiting for.
I didn't know much about any of this stuff, so it's like getting to see these ideas is like, it's cool, I'm excited to see what people come up with.
You know, it'd be a really fun one to see. Like,
what?
I guess that should be a question. That's the better question. What would you like to see go public domain and see what people do with it? Like, what's
Star Wars.
something? Star Wars would be a fun one. Star Wars would be a fun one. Like, just the idea of like hitting that threshold and being like, it's to the public now. That'll be fun. I don't even want to. Technically speaking, I want to know what people would do with Dragon Ball, but I already kind of do. There's enough.
That's okay. That one is a little harder to do because if it's an international one, the copyright rules differ extremely.
People
Some of the countries it's from don't even have that one. They can own it fucking forever. I don't know what it is in Japan, but yeah.
That's really already a Tetris movie. I can't even say Tetris.
And that's also, again, that's technically Russia. That's a different thing, too.
I don't understand that one. You know what? I think I would probably want to see Mega Man. I'd want to see if Mega Man hit public domain. And that's not just because I'm a super fan. I'm like, I genuinely believe that people would do some really fun stuff with Mega Man if it just wasn't in the hands of Capcom all the time. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is with this U.S. copyright along with it, especially with that one, since, and this is just a general fact, the video game industry is nowhere near old enough to even reach the threshold.
Oh, yeah, but I'm saying, like, what would you want to see in the future? Like, it's not even that you have to live to see it. What would be cool, especially if it's something right now that you know isn't within that time span? Like, I would like to know what would you think. That's why when you said Star Wars, I'm like, Star Wars isn't, I'm pretty sure Star Wars isn't close to it yet. But like,
not yet. It was made in around the 70s, so we have another. This is the 20s.
I think it's if it goes by the 95-year rule. But the thing is, like, that's for properties I think created before 1973. So I don't know how that affects after that. But just based on the question, I really don't know, man. Like, if I were to have unlimited access to a story, I would write my own shit for.
Yeah.
Or I'd love to see people write shit for. I don't know, man.
I want to see someone take the Terminator series into a better hands, honestly.
Terminator became public domain. That would be interesting. Alien would be a cool one, too, since you mentioned Terminator.
Let's see. Well, me and Jones will agree on this. Anything that's super popular in horror right now, like someone do something better with Saw, someone do something better with Paranormal Activity, anything that's been overdone to fucking death in it.
Just do something.
Hell, Resident Evil. Resident Evil has its up and down.
Resident Evil hasn't been put on there yet? Interesting. I would like to see how Resident Evil would be. That would be a cool one. That would genuinely be a cool one. Street Fighter would also be another fun one. I'm just thinking in games, though, but like we could think outside the box, too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Since the subject started off with Batman's comics, what specific comics would you guys want to be in the public domain?
Oh, dude, I would just to like see people's interpretations of it. I would love to see a really artsy, serious version of not the popular ones, Long Halloween. What's that one? The Son of the Demon or whatever. The one where it's like the Son of Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, Damien Wynn.
Oh, the son of Damien.
Well, not the son, but like I know what he's going for. I think it's Damien. I think it's Damien Wayne.
I think so. Yeah, it's whatever. Like the cover is like a blue-ish look, and it shows Batman, and it's like the art style in it is almost painted often or something like that. I read it like a couple years back, and I was like, I like this a lot actually. And it wasn't like the most consequential storyline, but it was cool, and I was like, I'd love to see an artistic take of that. You know, there's we've talked about this. There's a lot of things we'd do if we made movies. You know, where we do like really stylized versions of things, and you know, like for instance, me. You know, there you go. There's my answer. I would love to see Silver Surfer. Because
Silver Surfer would be really
I don't think there's enough being hit on it. I mean, Marvel's like, oh, we're going to do a show on Disney Plus. I don't care about that. I want to see the Galactus Silver Surfer epic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Spanning over, like, however many years they decide to...
Give me a damn trilogy. Yeah. Give me a high budget and give me a great director. And if they can't do it, I'll do it in 30 years when I'm finally in the industry and making bank. You know what I mean? Like... I don't know, man. That would be cool. And all the stories people come up with. And there's my second one. Venom Space Knight. Because shit would be so cool. Because think about it. That would be probably its own thing where the whole King in Black didn't exist. That would just be a campy thing with Venom. And people would be like, why does this exist? Not knowing that it came from the comic. But damn, it'd be good.
But you can't tell me that Space Knight. The Space Knight was fire. But you can't tell me that Null and everything with that wasn't cool.
It was. I'm not saying it wasn't.
No, I'm not saying you are saying.
No.
But I do understand where you're coming from with Space Knight. Space Knight didn't get a chance to live up to its full potential.
Yeah, they canceled it. 11 issues in, and then did No, which was still good. It was good. It's just I miss No. I miss
curiosity,
Space Knight.
Naruto. I would like to see what people would do with that character. Which is feels cool, a part of me feels like it could be really cringe, but at the same time I'm like, I think somebody could do something really crazy with just the story of Naruto. Like,
hey, Money.
What?
As I mentioned, like in 34 years, you can write a Spider-Man comic if you haven't already gotten a chance to do so.
That'd be cool. I'd be down to do it. Spider-Man's such a weird character that I'm not sure I can write properly, but I probably could. I know enough about him to know that I can write about him, but I don't feel like I'm confident enough to do so. I could do Miles better than I could do Peter, though, to be fair.
Miles, you have to wait a lot longer.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. But I'm just saying I could do Miles before I could do Peter, probably.
I think I'd be fine writing Spider-Man. Like, talking about confidence of writing it. I'd be cocky enough, I think, with it that I'd do. And you know where I'd go with it? I'd go right back into Progress, where he has a company, and keep it going with that and really expand on that. I love that. I really hate that they went back to boots on the ground, Peter, because we saw it from the 60s through. You know what I mean? That was like 65 some years, something like that.
I'm like,
no, not 65 years. My bad. It was a lot, though. You know?
It's just one of those things where you look at it and you go like, we've seen him be everyday Peter Parker. He's finally earned it. He's grown past it. If he wanted boots on the ground, like Miles existed. Like he was right over there. Like,
yeah, that's why I was so.
So
go ahead.
No, you're right. It's just really strange that they was like, oh, we gotta take him back to basics. I'm like, do we? Do we really?
Do we?
Yeah. Well, that's why I got like so scared with Venom was when I saw like the first comic for Venom 2016. They were like, Venom's back in action, swinging in New York, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Sorry, excuse my friend. Sorry, I wasn't happy at all. You know what I mean? I was like, this is not what Space Knight set up. But then, of course, they went super cosmic, and I was like, all right, Donny Cates, all right, you did good
in this one,
but. It wasn't the campy cosmic that I wanted, but it was the epic cosmic that I needed, you know.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where you're like, okay, fine. I'll admit, it did seem a little weird to be like, he's back with Eddie Brock, and he's back on the ground, on Earth.
Yeah, right? The advertising sucked.
You're like, I didn't want him to be back on the ground. He was kind of doing cool in space. And they did some really, like we said, the King in Black stuff was really cool. So I was like, okay, fine. But I do feel like Flash is a little robbed. I mean, they have him with the Agent Anti-Venom stuff going on right now, which is still pretty cool. But I actually would like him to go back to space and do stuff. Like, he's Agent Anti-Venom, but he's like Agent Anti-Venom here on Earth again, and I'm like, no, you was actually kind of cool with the Guardians. I wanted to see you kind of do more things. Yeah. That was a fun storyline to follow. It was like you learned about the Clintar and all everything like that. It was just kind of cool.
Yeah. And I know I've made this argument 2 years ago, but the whole Space Knight thing, like, it was so expansive. They literally set up like an entire like arc of like the entirety of the 80s like sci-fi cosmic stuff they could have just dived into and just had a ball with, but they took it back. They didn't love it. Again, it's all these years later, bro. It leaves me just wanting it, wanting more. I'm like, damn, bro, like you can't just set up something so big and then just undercut it and do something else. That sucks.
They've been doing that for years, though.
I know.
It's circular storytelling in comics. It's trash, honestly. As much as I love the big 2, I guess, because it's not the big 3 that's really doing this. Image doesn't have this problem.
Nope.
But Marvel and DC always have this problem where they always got to go back around. They did the same thing with Batman when Dick Grayson was Batman for a while, where they brought back Bruce Wayne, and Bruce Wayne even went on to be like, I'm going to create Batman Inc. and become the Batman of the world. Yeah. You stay in Gotham with Damian, essentially. And then as time went on, it's just like, Nope, he's just
They did
normal
that with-
Batman again. Nightwing's back to being Nightwing, and I mean Damian's still around. They tried to kill him a couple times, but they had to bring him back, I guess.
Yeah, no, they did that with when they made Commissioner Gordon Batman that one time.
That
Remember
was
that
such a
Did he
weird
actually?
one.
What?
Yeah, they gave him a mech bat
so
suit. It was
Batman
kinda
died.
interesting.
They gave him a mech bat suit. He became Batman. They introduced one cool villain, Mr. Bloom. I actually like
Bloom
that.
was really cool. I liked him being in the Batmech suit. I don't think Jim Gordon's a good Batman.
Nope.
The story was interesting though, but it was supposed to be a Batman that worked for the cops, essentially, like worked with the cops and what that could look like, which is kind of a cool idea. Like it's just
the fact it was a Batmech suit he operated in, like really, that's
not stealthy at all. But it's whatever. It's a Batmech suit. Like it's kind of cool at the same time. Like it's literally just. Fuck it! I stopped crying by dropping in and shooting batarangs out my arm, and I'm like, all right.
and not to mention the fact, like with cyclical storytelling, how many times have the universe reset in both DC and Marvel?
Actually, to be fair, multiple times in DC, technically once in Marvel. Marvel's only had one actual reboot in its entirety. Everything has been like soft reboots or slightly resetting people back a bit. It's circular storytelling. We always push people back, but they're never. Marvel's always like, we're progressing, but there's a reason why we went back to where we are, right? So it's like, for instance, with the Spider-Man thing, huge part of the reason why him being a billionaire had to fail, or a millionaire, not really a billionaire, he wasn't on that level yet. Was
it wasn't Tony Stark level.
Yeah, that was the deal. He was like below. He was below Tony Stark, but he was on his like pushing his way up. He's during they said that during Secret Wars, basically, well, not Secret Wars, Secret Empire, it turns out Otto Octavius had put pieces of himself within the company itself, because technically he originally was the one that kind of built it. And in doing so, with Otto becoming a part of, like, the Spider-Man of the Secret Empire, he had access to everything that Parker Industries had, and Peter Parker was like, well, if you're going to do that with all the technology that I worked for and used to put around the world, I'll just destroy the whole thing, just to make sure you can't do this to people, essentially. You can't mind control them, you can't stop them. So he destroyed the whole thing, slashed and burned it, was like, thanks guys pretty much for serving me, but like, we got to do this for the good of mankind. And so they slashed and burned the company, and now he's like in debt because he had a company and people want payouts and things like that. And it's like, it's not his fault a supervillain attacked the entire thing. But like, it's weird because it's just like, there's a reason why he's broke. It's not like they got rid of the fact that he had a company. He had a company. He just doesn't have it anymore. And it's like, oh, that still sucks. Like, it doesn't doesn't make it better, but it's just like,
I mean, it's back to status quo. Like, he's still broke, but instead of like it being broke post college grad or college or high school.
Yeah, it's not like they were like, he never had a company. That never existed. It's like, no, he had one. It's just now he's broke because he had a company. Like, and it's like, I'm sick of you being broke. I like Peter Parker. I know
have
he's
at least
relatable.
a decent normal life.
Yeah, just let him be.
We don't need you. He doesn't need to be a billionaire. He doesn't need to be a millionaire. He doesn't need to be like have a company along with it. Just make him like stable, for God's sakes.
Allow him to
Spider-Man.
be stable.
Spider-Man has perpetually been like unstable with cash. Like he's not a role model in that aspect.
That's the part of the
company,
trope we we're a little sick of Spider-Man about though.
It's just unfortunate because it's like, no matter what he does, and that's the part of the Parker luck, right? But no matter what he does, he's always comes around to like, yeah, you're broke again. And it's like,
yeah,
all right, I guess I did this before.
Bro, having him going around in his own Batmobile and having the Prowler be a second version of him so that they were worldwide was just so cool.
Yeah, genuinely.
Oh, the Spider.
It basically was the city never sleeps, or it's like, how like Batman is like feared worldwide. It was like that, but it was Spider-Man. It was like campy. I don't know. I liked it. I'll be honest. I didn't read why he lost the money. I'm glad you actually touched on that. That's fine, I guess, but it's like,
no, that makes some sort of explanation versus like a complete just hand wave off moment.
It's really is. It just comes down to him being like, his self-sacrificial nature. He's like, I'm willing to destroy this entire company to make sure that like the bad guys don't get what they want in this instance. And so it's like,
we're not upset at the loss of the company. We're upset with the fact that it's back to square one with them again.
And it's like, damn it, like nah, man, just let him do it again. And then on top of that, when that new run started, they decided to hit him again because they took his college back. Like literally, they took his college degree away because Otto was the one that earned it, and so they was like, nah. Like they had a new system in play that was like, hey, look, we can find out when people plagiarize stuff, or if, like, it's basically they were figuring out, like, because of mutants and superhumans and people doing stuff, they was like, we have a system that's so good it can tell if you didn't do it. And it looked at it and was like, that's not Peter Parker. And it was like, oh, sick. So they revoked his college degree away.
The college degree back.
And I was like, I mean, I think he got it back is the deal with the whole story. He earned it himself again, but I was still, for a while, I was like, really? We're going to kick him again?
He's going back to college.
It's going to take his degree away.
Oh, man. Parker Luck. Okay, here's the thing. There's Parker Luck, and then there's just like, you just don't want your heroes to grow. Like, we want our heroes to grow, though. That's the idea.
I think he finally finished, and I think he's a college professor as of now, currently in comics. I'm like, thank you. But at the same time...
Well, currently in comics, he has a family crisis of sorts, because apparently everyone he was close with hate him for some reason.
Yeah, they never explained that. I still have to figure that out. That actually has not been explained.
Yeah, it hasn't explained because it's still ongoing, but currently he's in cahoots with, I think, still Black Cat and Gold Goblin. It's Norman Osborn who apparently turned a new lead.
Oh, yeah, no, that part's cool. Like, that part's genuinely cool. I'm upset because I can already see the seeds, and I'm like, there's no way they're gonna let the Green Goblin just be a good guy for now.
Villain guy.
I'm like...
Because they couldn't do that with Doctor Doom, they're not gonna do it with Goblin.
I'm mad because they couldn't even do it with the one person who made the most sense, which was Dr. Octopus. Weirdly enough, he's in this weird like middle ground area where he's like he does good things, but like for his own reasons, right? Like he's still technically a bad guy. Like it's weird, and it's just like, come on, man. Like Superior Spider-Man cemented that character as like he's done. Don't make him a villain again. Like just don't. And it was just they found a way to do it. And right now, it's the same thing with Doc Ock, where it's like his sins have kind of been purged from him via the Sin Eater stuff that was happening, and he feels guilt about everything he's done, so he's doing what he's doing for Peter and everyone else around him because he wants to do better. He doesn't want to be the Green Goblin. He wants to be something good. And I'm like, that's cool. That's growth. This will never keep. The only person to get out of this was Venom.
Yeah, because they're gonna do something. They're gonna need to pull something at the end of this series or sometime down the road. Like he's a villain again. Like
I know it. I feel it. I know they're gonna do it. I'm like, damn it. I don't want it. I don't want, like, I'm like, let him.
Here's the thing,
let him be him. Let him grow.
Here's the thing, like, can't they just make a new villain that's still equal to like the threat level that they pose, or like something new approaching, but still have them grow as a character and actually be somewhat of a good guy, or at least not a villain, at least not a villain anymore.
I think Norman Osborn is in one of those cases where it's like, just don't, please don't. It's only detrimental to make him a bad guy now, and it's like, please. He's really close to just not having to worry about it.
But it's always a brick wall. They always end up doing like this brick wall in terms of character development when it comes to like not the hero, but usually the villain. And like we can't think of anything else. We'll put him back to where it was. Like
that's like
they did that with Doom, and I hated that when they did that with Doom.
He was literally Iron Man for a while.
Yes, and I was pissed when they made him back to Dr. Doom again. Like, seriously, you gotta be shitting me.
He was just vibing as the infamous Iron Man. He decided to be a good guy because Tony Stark died. I'm like, bro. Well, to be fair, Doom's one of those characters that's like, technically, you're not a bad guy to begin with, but like, still. He's right. That's the deal. He's a villain that's right. And like, at the end of the day, if he did take over the world, if he did do the things he wants to do, he'd put the world in a better place. He would. Like, that's the deal, right? It's like, but you gotta look at him and go like, I don't know about your methods. I mean, yeah, you're right. But like, how you want to get there seems so problematic that I wouldn't want to let you try. It's like, but yeah, that's circular storytelling on that show. I guess we'll get out of the comments. We still have stuff to do.
Sorry about that, guys, ladies and gentlemen.
It was it all started with public domain. We went on a tangent. It was a good tangent.
That's how it would be. All right.
Yeah. But anything else you guys want to look up for? I got a few myself. Want to let you guys go first.
Let's see. I'm always looking forward to Dead by Daylight stuff. To be fair.
Yep. New expansion, Tools of Torment.
I haven't looked at
Doesn't
it.
really explain on what they showed off the characters. They haven't shown off what they were able to do yet.
True, but we do have a new expansion. We know that much. Is this a killer? Is the one with the little claw thing a killer?
Yes,
so that'll be
that
fun.
is the killer. I think she's could probably be in a like mastermind trapper type of deal, is my guess, based on the themes. But
Yeah,
Bro,
that's
is
my
that
guess is.
Look, man, I'm not saying it because I'm like being a snarky This girl with the jean shorts, all right, they knew what they were doing with this animation. I like no, so I don't know if you could tell I broke the character. I've just been me tonight, but and I'm not. I promise viewers, I'm not a pervert. It's nothing like that. It's just like I like to call people on their nonsense. And this cinematic trailer, like she has a particular bump, and it's like. Did this add to the storytelling? Because I certainly don't feel scared, you know? Like,
that is the weird part, because I was looking at it being like, I'm not really sure.
Bro, I got it paused right here. I can send you a picture if you want. And you'll know what I'm saying, because it's like, that's not storytelling.
It's like, that's
and
not,
it's like, why, bro?
Storytelling.
Why'd you do that?
But these are going to be... Oh, they're twins. I think they're twins. Like, the new survivors look like they're twins.
Oh, the new killer kind of matches them. Oh, it's a hot chick with a mask that kills people with claws. They're running out of ideas. I'm calling it now. I'm sorry.
I'm always looking forward to another one, but it's just like, it's a little strange to me because I'm like, I don't really... This one doesn't scream killer to me. I mean, obviously it is a killer. Like, if someone was running after me with this stuff, I'd still be afraid, right? But like,
yeah.
I'm not physically afraid by this thing. I'm just
I mean, they did that. They did that. They think they're going for more like a domestic type of killer involved with it because they did that one with the K-pop star who was a killer.
Yeah, but like he gave me Joker vibes, so I kind of got it. You know what I mean? Like you look at him and go like, he's a pretty boy, but like he's clearly like deranged,
insane,
like off rip. You're like, yeah, you know what? I feel uneasy.
Yeah.
It was like, but with this
one she has like a drone.
Yeah.
With claws and a diamond mask.
What they should have did? They should have went for more of like a Terminator, like Deathlock kind of thing. Is how I feel.
I guess we'll just have to wait. I know, but in terms of themes, like at least the themes, that's what I'm guessing for it. But I'd like to see more of what they actually are capable of doing, and then we might get that idea a little bit clearer. Who knows? Maybe she has like with all the shit on her, she's able to do some weird techie thing along with it.
Well, if they gave her like Spider-Man abilities, like where she can like cling to a side of a wall or some shit, that'd be cool. Genuinely, that would be cool.
But
I think that might be.
But they're not gonna let that do it because that breaks the verticality aspect in Dead by Daylight. You're not supposed to go up that much or that easy anyway.
Yeah.
But I think a character that can break that mold a little bit would be fun to mess around with. Like you don't even have to be crawling everywhere. Just like perch. You know what I mean? Like if you could just perch somewhere, just hide that way.
She has a predator claw. She got a gas mask. She's got I guess it looks like a gun on her arm or an exo arm.
You just said that. That kind of made it click. Do you think she was supposed to be the predator and they just couldn't get him?
Possibly.
Because the claw's the same thing, right? And then they got the little red like dot thing going on.
Oh wow, yeah. You know what? If that's the case, this is a creative, non-creative reskinning. They went from scary predator to bad chick, and it's like.
Well, I'm not surprised with Dead by Daylight developers because they did this before. When they couldn't get Leatherface for their character, they went with the hillbilly one with the chainsaw. That was the first interpretation for it. So, and then eventually got Leatherface, and it's like, oh, okay. Well, we finally got able to do it.
I hated running from the hillbilly, man. That broken frickin'
the chainsaw.
Dead by Daylight. That's a fun game, but I was one of the people that I didn't like it that much because I was bad at running. And I thought I was good, and I got humbled real quick by some of these killers.
I got ruined when they introduced Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger broke it for me.
Dude, screw that. The frickin' dream crab. My favorite.
It's interesting. It's so weird.
My favorite memory on that game though is when we all started. I think it was Yumi, Pele, Amani. I think Logan and maybe like Jehovah's.
Oh, and he should not be named.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
You just covered it up, I think. But anyway, so like we had just started playing. I spawned not 2 feet from you, and I just see you walking at me with the fucking hatchet up, and I was like, "Can you let me go?" And you throw it, and I got so mad. You remember that? I was like, "You mother! I hate you! F off! Let me run!" And it's effing game. And I was old Paul back then, and you were just like,
Oh no!
"All right, all
I
right."
think
You just
the
walked away.
funniest moment for me on that one is that he actually saved me off the hook, and as soon as that happened, he gets hit with a hatchet, and I just run right off.
I still think my favorite moment in Dead by Daylight is me working on a generator, and Paul here walks up, and he's like, "Hey, what's good, man?" He's like, "Dude, remember, don't fuck it up," and then immediately, boom,
He fucks it up.
That's right. It was like my first day of playing. I was so confident because I was hitting him, bro. I go up to you. I told you that, right? I said, "Don't F it up."
Yeah, he's like, "Whatever we do, don't F it up," and then you immediately,
Yeah, whatever. Half a second later, and you went, "Oh shit!" I just saw you run it off. I think I got killed shortly after. Something like that. That was good times.
I dipped off so fast. I'm sorry I abandoned you. It was so quick.
No, you I just remember you vanished, bro. It was like, you were like, "What are you doing?"
It's like, "I'm sorry."
Because I did. I felt so bad. Remember, Monty, don't mess up. I'm glad. Damn, good memory. We gotta find something else to play and have memories like that again, man. I haven't played anything with people in a long time.
It's because we've been.
Well, we'll do that. We'll do that when we've played more Divinity.
Sure. I hope.
Yeah, we will. What's another one you had, Bailey? Because I know you wanted to mention one too.
Oh yeah, so I do want to talk about the Synth Riders Gorillaz Music Pack announcement. Another music rhythm game for PSVR 2. Haven't played the game itself, but the fact that it has Gorilla music, like, yep, I'm already down. I love Gorillaz. Yeah, Gorillaz music is great.
I'm always down to play like a rhythm game, low key. I still need to beat Thumper. Mm-hmm. That's a good game.
Thumper's hard.
But it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. Speaking of one other rhythm game, though, real fast though, since Paul, you mentioned like rhythm games you were interested in, I think was what was it, the drumming one? What was that one again?
Where's the docket?
Drums Rock. Drums Rock. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I played a similar one to that on my VR headset called Ragnarok, which is just pretty much like this Viking boat thing, and you just beat drums to the rhythm of the song, and it's like that's really cool. It hasn't even a modded community, so you can put any song you want with a neat drum beat for that. The fact that there's a full-on drum kit, like, I'm already down for it. And the first song is played as Black Betty. I was like, yes, whoa, I'm down for it already.
Gotcha.
Betty?
Black Betty. We're not gonna get copyrighted. Black Betty had a child. No copyright.
No copyright.
Ain't gonna lie. Oh, bam.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to play those. But yeah,
my only problem with that drumming game though coming out. I know I always sound like my only problem that, but that game. I said it to you earlier, Amani. It was. It sounds like adults bop. Like none of them are like the original songs. They're just licensed covers. And
there's probably a reason for that. I found out recently that a lot of times they did covers and things like Rock Band and stuff like that because if the
did Rock Band do a lot of covers?
Mm-hmm. Rock Band and Guitar Hero did a lot of covers because if the song is old enough, it's impossible to do the proper things with it with layering of music. It's that or it's extremely difficult is the deal. Because the masters aren't digital, or at least don't have the dynamic taggings that songs now or later on would have had. And because they don't have those dynamic taggings, it is hard to pull and move certain parts around. So when it comes to like rhythm games, a large part of what makes it good when doing like something like Drum Rock and Guitar Hero, things like that, is the feedback when you fuck up a chord, right? It's like, so you know when you're messing up, the song stops and cuts out until you get back on track again. Or at least that instrument cuts out until you get back on track again. You can't do that with certain ones because of that.
So here's a question. Do you think maybe that changed? Because back in the days when they did all that, that would have made sense. But nowadays you have so many digital remasters of albums and technology's progressed, 10 years in time. Maybe it is easier now. Because the Kanye West stem player, for instance,
It's still, it's genuinely
it's
still problematic now.
It's still problematic, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I mean,
it's progressed.
It's progressed, but it's still a problem because Hi-Fi Rush has it with one of its songs currently.
Yes.
One of the songs is just way lower, and they can't change it dynamically enough right now. They're working on it, and it's probably going to be in a patch. But I think it's the song that you fight Rekka to.
Yes, you do.
It's just way lower and drowned out throughout the rest of the tracks in the game. All the other music is fine. It's dynamic. It acts along with what you're doing. But that song in particular is just old enough that it's like, we kind of need to just do some things until we figure that one out.
Yeah. One of the example I was going to bring up with comparison for Paul is that they actually were able to do that for quite old songs back in the Rock Band days. Because remember when they used to do the whole artist-focused Rock Band games, especially the Beatles?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were able to do that with the Beatles songs for that back then, and that was a lot of songs for them too. And that's since they were made from the 60s and 70s. That's a good 50-year mark in terms of age. So they were able to do that with some significant songs. But I think it's like what Monty mentioned. It's just some songs haven't gotten that treatment yet, so they haven't been able to do so.
So like as time goes on, it'll probably like be easier. But also as time goes on, we'll probably get another way of doing songs even better. So it's going to be a little strange,
Okay.
Rhythm games are never going to die, so that's definitely the case.
He says this and then rhythm games die.
I'm going to be really upset that was a fact.
Rhythm games never die. Saw the death of rhythm games. I'd be kind of sad too.
I like rhythm games.
I just had fun with a rhythm game. Sick. It's a rhythm action game. It's a great genre to exist now.
I wonder if Hi-Fi Rush is going to instigate that down the road, because that'll be dope. I mean, we're getting a rhythm fighting game soon,
we are getting
man.
A rhythm fighting game soon. That is going to be kind of nice.
What's the rhythm fighting game?
We announced this in the podcast I think a few weeks back. I can't exactly remember when.
Rock or something like that?
I think so. Let me Google this real fast. Rhythm fighting game. Beatboxers.
Is it?
Or Rhythm Fighter.
Rhythm Fighter.
Well, there's a couple.
I guess there's a couple, but there's another one specifically that I remember.
Yeah, I think God of Rock.
Yeah.
Is it this one? Give me a second.
The idea is that
I'm trying to find the exact video you should send us to a while back.
The idea of that one, though, the one that we're thinking of is It
is God of Rock. It is God of Rock.
You both are basically playing a rhythm game at the same time, but the deal is not to complete the song. The deal is to beat your opponent. So the more notes you hit, the more notes they miss, or the more hits you get on them. And you can do things like you get beat meter during it, and you can use that meter to fuck them up. So you can freeze their stuff so that it throws off their timing. You can it's different for character to character, but like you could splatter the stuff on the screen so they can't see notes. Just little things there so that you could be like, you could fuck up them so you can hurt them more throughout it. It's an interesting concept because like fights, you're trying to go to the beat, but you're mainly trying to make sure that your opponent is screwing up more than you are screwing up.
I treat it a little bit like the versus modes in Guitar Hero 3, where you're playing against the AI or other players, and you actually throw like sabotages to them as you're playing through the song.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I'm pretty sure one of the things is you could just add notes. Like just suddenly to the other side, you're like, wait a minute, why is there so many more beats to this song that I was going through?
No, it's just gonna be great. Finally, I'm able to throw hands to a rhythm.
It's gonna be really interesting. I think it's gonna be a fun one. It's not gonna be a fighting game I'm gonna get into for sure, cause no, but I can't wait to see other people fight each other in that game. If that makes any sense, people who are way better at rhythm games than I am will do great in that game.
I'm gonna love it. I'm going to love it. But yeah.
Paul,
let's see.
Right? You got one?
My name is Paul. No, I'm sorry. You went Paul, right?
Yeah, you got one.
Nice to meet you, bro. Yeah. Let's see. Well, just a quick one, and then I'll actually pick the real one. But I'm just excited for Liza P. Like I'm a big Bloodborne guy, and I still stand by the fact that they directly ripped off many of the enemy movements and types into Liza P, and I'm all for it because like not only do they have the look and feel of Bloodborne, but I mean, and seriously, go look at like the basic enemies in Yharnam and the troll, and then go look at him fighting the big automaton as well as like just the standard. Like it's the same movements. I'm not lying. I'm not crazy. And so I'm just excited for it. It's coming out later this year in like what, August?
Yeah,
August something.
Let's go. I gotta upgrade my graphics card so I can play it probably, but you know, I'm still rocking at 1070, but I'm excited for that. But the one I want to focus on.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'll be honest, this was like one of the weaker dockets. I just didn't give a crap about much of this, so I'll just say Kevin Feige has a thing where he further explains what Marvel's Phase 4 was about and why. And to those of you that were able to put it together without the video, it's everything we've all been saying. They're trying to set up Phase 1, 2, and 3 again, but in one phase called Phase 4, so that they can get to Phase 5 and have explosive, huge, everything's gone to shit again, as Kevin Feige put it. Problem with that, though, is they're kind of rushing it because every movie is no longer boots on the ground. It's some world-ending thing that ties into the metaverse, multiverse, quantumverse narrative that is now Kang incarnate. And that's not a spoiler, but it is set up further past the Loki show into Ant-Man and the Wasp. And honestly, I went and saw Ant-Man Quantumania with Pele. It was an okay movie with great ideas and a huge budget. And you know something? I think I've finally fatigued on superhero movies. I just don't care. We had such a good setup, and I was talking about this with Pele and Leon and Amani. You might be able to see this if you look at the old Marvel movies, right? Mm-hmm. Leading up to I think around Black Panther, they started getting it that like stage 3 type stuff. Yeah. They looked like good movies, had some decent color grading, this, that, and the other. But when you get to about Black Panther, a little bit after that, about Black Panther, then probably Captain Marvel, then you hop into Avengers Infinity War, right? Suddenly you have what I call the Marvel Cobalt, and it's like everything's like almost this like, you know what I'm talking about? It's like a metallic sheen, yellows are really hyper yellow, things like that. And if you look at their movies now, like when we got to Infinity War and we got to Endgame, it felt epic, I think, because of that Cobalt look. We had Captain Marvel even starting that because we were in Phase 3. This is where it all goes down. Now you get and look at all these other movies that have come out in Phase 4. Every single one, maybe not Black Widow so much, but every single one has had the Marvel Cobalt look. They're trying to really push this epic action, epic thing. And it's like, bro, like, I don't care about any of the new characters. I love the Eternals, but remember, I didn't watch that as a Marvel film. I still don't consider it part of the Marvel thing. I love that movie for what it is, but if I look at it as a Marvel fan, it's just more of the same, and it's the same. So you have epic world-ending events. Now you're setting up an even bigger world-ending event. It's just there's no stakes. We know that these aren't going to get to the end until Kang comes around. Kang's whole thing is probably going to kill off some people because their contracts have ended. So like the great wonder to me of, the superhero movies and where they were going all the way up into Endgame, it's lost now. It's just, I don't care. I don't care about Blade, and that hurts, I wanted to. I don't care about the Eternals. I wanted to. I don't care about any of this stuff anymore, and I really wanted to. So, you know what I mean? It's to me, it's disappointing, but it's also like, who knows? Maybe I'll change my opinion. Also, what's the actor's name that plays Kang?
Oh,
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Monty, you got to go see the movie just for his performance. He plays a tortured person to a T. Like Kang starts out gentle, and then he asks things. Right, and this is no spoilers. He probably did it in Loki, but when he asks things, it's very gentle, and he's like, "I can give you this, please," and he's like begging you, "Please don't make me be a monster." And everybody fucks that up, and then Kang shows just a little bit of that monster. Everyone's like, ooh! But then when you see that monster, literally, He has the helmet on, his eyes are glowing, and he's just screaming as he's killing people and blowing up. And it's like, oh, that's a tortured soul. My God, bro, that's a threat. Like that feels. I'll be honest, that's one thing they got right though. Is he felt like more of a threat than Thanos. Thanos is this controlled, I am inevitable. Like trying to control everything. This dude is like Kang is like, I have to do this because this is a huge spoiler. I realize I gotta stop here, but he's great. It's a great villain in a muddy water, so I'm hoping that villain can pull them out of it.
It seems like they're definitely going for it. I mean, Kang's kind of been set up. You never got to see Loki, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched Loki yet. I need to.
The deal is he first appears in Loki, and there's a genuine interesting talk. He's the one called He Who Remains. So like the Kang we see in Ant-Man is Kang, right? The one we see before it's a different version of him, but it's the version of him in which he's telling the audience, he's like, "Hey, I'm the best one." He was like,
"I'm the one that remains because all other me's have been killed."
So he's like literally getting ready to hype you up of like. So, like, whoever comes after me...
I will neither confirm nor deny that. All I'll say is Ant-Man and the Wasp has a great after-credit scene that touches on some things. That's all. That's not a spoiler,
Apparently,
obviously. That's just...
I've been hearing some things about that after-credit scene. Some people say it's the best part of the movie. Some people say it's better than the movie. Like...
I'll be honest with you.
I've literally lost. Like they've been talking about that after credit scene as like it's the best. Like,
okay. So I'll say this: I loved his performance. I loved that version of Kang we got in the movie. What happens in the after credit scene was like, oh. All I'll say is, if you ever thought Thanos was a threat, bro, you got to see that credit scene so you can realize. Damn, and that's why, I'll be honest, that's the only reason why I'm excited. I don't think I'm going to go to the theater and see any more Marvel movies with you guys. I love you guys, but when the big ones come out, when I can see more of Kang specific, I'll go to the theater with you in a heartbeat.
Apparently the next one that's actually supposed to involve Kang is Shang-Chi. And Shang-Chi was fire.
Oh, so not Marvel's?
No. Marvel's is the next one's coming. Marvel's is coming out. I'll go see. But I don't know if that's going to.
Yeah,
I'll go see Guardians of the Galaxy with
Shang-Chi. Yeah, and
of course I'm gonna go see. And Amani, you're going to that with us. All right, you have been putzing around with your work friends. You need to go see a Marvel film with us. Last one you did was Thor, and that was an insult to all of us.
No, wait, I went to see Wakanda.
Black Panther.
Yeah, I saw Wakanda.
Oh yeah, my bad. Anyways, well, you're coming to see Guardians with us because did we all go see Guardians? No, I saw the first two with my cousins, but still, I want to go see that one with you guys, all three specific, and Leon.
We're all gonna go see Into the Spider-Verse.
That's true. That's happening.
We're planning it now. Don't you hit us up and be like, well, nobody planned anything. So
no. Don't worry.
No. We're planning it now.
I will watch Spider-Verse multiple times. I don't care who tells me to go first. I'm gonna watch it multiple times. It's just gonna happen. I know, but so we'll be fine.
Go with us first.
I will be there for every
that's
time.
Fine, but bro, you got to go where you started with.
I will bring everyone to that theater if I have to watch that movie again.
I'll rent out the fucking cinema just to watch this with everybody.
My only concern with that film is that since it's a two-parter, and this is going to be Pele, you're not going to like me for this. I didn't like Dune. I've had a lot of time to sit on it. I did not like Dune, and I'll be real. I'm waiting on the sequel to finish the story so I can decide whether I did. But yeah, I don't like it, and I'll be honest too.
Is it because it's a two-parter, or is it because it just ends on
partly
a weird note?
Because it's a two-parter. So it the first movie's kind of just meandering. It's really weighing on just that sequel thing. But then the other thing is this, and I think it's this, and you're gonna love this, Pele, while also hating me. I don't like Denis Villeneuve's movies. I love Blade Runner, but I also hate it because it takes 2 hours, 40 minutes to get to a point that could have been covered in 2 hours. Like, he's an auteur, he's a visually stunning director, he does great works. However, he takes so long to get to the point. It's such a French cinema thing that I can't get behind it, man. I've tried. I don't like his movies, and I'll be honest. Like I said, Dune, I didn't like it. The combat when people are fighting in it, that little of the shield, it looked cool, sounded cool. The impacts weren't there. It was like watching people like fight in a soap opera. You know what I mean? There was no impact. And I know this is controversial. I know this surprises you guys. Like, whoa, oh my God, this is a new day. But yeah, and then this new day, this new era. I didn't like Dune. I'm waiting on the sequel so I can finish that up.
That's fine. I'll talk with you after the film because after this because it's going to be a whole conversation because I want to bring up a few things outside of it.
That's fine.
Yeah, get a whole tangent afterwards. But yeah, let's see. What else do you guys want to speak about here? I would like to mention Slavic Punk Old Timer.
Oh.
It's a twin stick shooter with some really cool features in it. It's a cyberpunk Slavic focus entry game, and it looks dope.
It did.
I can't wait to try it.
It looks very cool.
I just want to talk about Justice Sucks.
Oh yes, Justice Sucks. Bonkers trailer. It looks so much fun.
You are a vacuum cleaner and you must fight.
You're a fucking Roomba that can grow a digitized body, beating people up as well as sneak around and blow people the fuck up with it. You do it because an evil corporation finds out you're sentient and tries to kill your family, and you defend them as a Roomba.
I will save my family.
As a Roomba. It's bonkers as shit. I love it. It's like Pizza Tower all over again, man. I love it. It's so much. It looks so fun.
I'm gonna have fun with that one. That was gonna be fun. That's gonna be too good. Even a section that looks like like fighting game, but it's like a beat 'em up kind of thing going on.
It's a beat 'em up, like bodies everywhere and everything. I see the sections where you have to be as a regular Roomba sneaking through things, but you have to throw a grenade at them. Like what?
What's happening? What are you doing?
Oh man, it looks so dope. I cannot wait to try this game when it comes out. I want to play a demo when it's so bad.
I feel it. I really do understand. What's another one, Pele?
Let's see.
Or Paul?
Oh, Killer Frequency. I'm actually intrigued by. So, Killer Frequency from the trailers, you play as a DJ operator who is apparently trying to stop a serial killer attacking your town and also going after you. It's based off of a few other, like, these, kind of like, I guess, Five Nights at Freddy's-esque games where you have to manage a certain detail in order to stop a killer from getting to you. But instead of, like, the management, like, close door, turn on lights, and power manage, you actually drive through a story, make certain choices. This way, the killer doesn't kill the people you're trying to save over the radio, as well as you, if they find out where you are.
Fair enough. I guess it
looks really cool.
I want to mention The Expanse, which is it's a Telltale series, which is weirdly enough a thing, but it's in space and doesn't have the comic book look feel. Actually, it's kind of weird. It's based off
a show.
Okay, that explains it. But it also has like so it doesn't have the comic book feel, but if you notice, it has like weird proportions going on still.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, it has also like so I'm used to old school like Telltale style games where you like make choices, quick time events, move a little bit.
This has actual gameplay.
Move on. Yeah, that's actual gameplay. You actually move for third person, and the scenery moves with you as you're going through, versus the kind of still areas you can just investigate and talk to people.
Honestly, having them do a bit more, like just something a bit more involved, seems really fun. Like, I still want to have the obvious, like, talk with your friends, talk with your, like, crewmates, whatever, make choices, have things
I think that's still going to be the case.
Which I hope. I just want the idea of having far more involved gameplay as opposed to walk to this point. Or, I mean, the point-and-click aspects of the previous games, more so the Left 4 Dead and... not Left 4 Dead. The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us.
Walking Dead.
Like, style games. If they could have, I don't know, put more point-and-click to it, it sounds weird to say, but it's like, those games were very much just hallway, like they were movies. They were interactable movies. As much as I love,
essentially,
I love
with quick time events.
They're just hallways.
I think, this is because this is the first Telltale games I've seen ever since they shut down and pretty much restructured themselves. I'm curious on how much different it's going to be gameplay wise for the next season of Wolf Among Us, because they said they're working on it.
That's true. I just need that to come out. They recently showed gameplay not too long ago, but it's definitely been a minute now since they've showed that gameplay, hasn't it?
It's been a minute since they announced it.
No, they showed gameplay relatively within that time span. But I don't know how long it's been since that gameplay reveal. But yeah,
I want to say 2 years.
It's been a minute, yeah, and I just need that to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf Among Us is one of my favorite games, bro. It just hits different, and I just need it to be out. I need you to just do it. I'm so interested in that world. It's ridiculous. I actually understand why.
You should read the Fable comics when you get a chance.
I tried. That's all. That's the thing. It's not even anything wrong with it. It's just that like, I know that the Fable comics take place so far after the events of Wolf Among Us that like, I'm cool with it, but it bothers me a little bit because I'm like, I want references to this stuff because I want to know more about what's happening with the plot lines that were happening, but it's completely detached, and it's like, I have to get closure on the part that I know first before I can be like, okay, I can move on to the rest of it. You know what I mean? Because there are little plot points at the end of the first one that's like, are we going to talk about that? Because I'm confused.
I mean, I'm still wanting plot resolution. I still haven't finished like the new Tales of the Borderlands quite yet, so I'm still hoping they do it like... Well, I don't know if Telltales is going to do it, but a full-on Season 2 focus for Tales of the Borderlands still.
That's fair. You got one more, Paul, or no?
No.
Okay.
I want to make just a quick comment though, since I mentioned this to Amani earlier before the podcast. Hello, Engineer.
Oh yeah, that's so weird, right?
Yeah. So Hello, Engineer is it's from the same franchise as Hello Neighbor, but instead of sneaking, puzzling, and avoiding your neighbor going to his house, you're building vehicles and avoiding obstacle courses. I made the comparison that it's like Banjo-Kazooie all over again, where it was originally a 3D platform collectathon to a car building game.
Yeah, it's so.
That's a strange leap is still in my opinion. But yeah, that's.
I guess I'll mention this real quick. So we finally figured out what Street Fighter Duel was. We kind of knew it was gonna be a mobile game, but it's like a weird little team-based gacha kind of thing going on. It's interesting. It's a little strange, but
I still don't know how the turn system functions.
Yeah, it seems like my guess is that each character gets their own individual turn, and you're trying to stack them. Like everyone has a cooldown.
It's like Final Fantasy X style, where it's like kind of a timer
like that,
thing,
where it's like Indivisible, for instance. Where like certain characters could do up to X amount of moves, but then you want to kind of get them to do something else within that time. If you space it out right, you'll get like a decent kind of thing going. But at some point, you will have everyone on cooldown, and that's when the other player gets to for real do something. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're doing. But I'm looking forward to it, kind of. I'm not a huge mobile... Actually, that's not true. I'm a decent mobile gamer. But like... I'm down. It's Street Fighter, right? It looks kind of fun. I'll give it a shot, just because. I probably won't talk about it a bunch. I'll probably just mention, like, I played it, and that's about it.
Mobile titles don't have a great reputation.
Yeah, they just don't. That's just the deal. But, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I'll play it, and then be like, alright, cool. You existed. But the last thing I think we should probably mention, unless probably you have one more, I want to mention Bleak Faith Forsaken.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah,
that looked dope.
I've been watching that for like I think a couple years now. It's been in development.
Yeah, it has a proper release date trailer. It looks.
Woohoo!
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Let me look. I think we've managed to talk about this while it was still in its development phases too.
Possibly like a good while back too, since it's
keep an eye.
Nothing's been like really shown for it a good while.
This game
but glad to see it's full on trailer aspect. Has a black and white art aesthetic, which is a little confusing at times seeing the details for it, but the gameplay looks really dope. Kind of Souls-like, kind of Devil May Cry. Because it doesn't.
It's a little bit of a hybrid. I'm hoping it's leaning more to Devil May Cry, or like, I guess you know what I think it might be. What is it called? I love this game. Dragon's Dogma Combat. If it's Dragon's Dogma Combat, just without like climbing.
The climbing mechanic.
If it's that, I think I'd actually have a lot of fun with this game because Dragon's Dogma was super cool, and
I mean, you're getting Dragon's Dogma 2.
We are getting Dragon's Dogma 2, so. But I want to play that. This looks fun. It's got like that. It's doing the thing I like, where they have like automatons in fantasy, It's like it's not spellpunk exactly, but like it's close.
I mean, it has a lot of
Spellpunk.
like Lovecraft-esque mechanic flesh bending aspects to it. It looked like automatons with flesh aspect overgrown with it. Like that's really cool in my eyes. Lovecraft aspect
Also
for it.
very obvious that it's like it's a post-apocalyptic world, much like how Dark Souls is, right? But like it's like a future post-apocalyptic world. Like there's that's a street light. That's a real city building. Like that's not like a fantasy building. That's a building. Like
I'm back.
I am looking forward to this. Actually, I said this. It might be Dragon's Dogma. I just realized that there straight up was climbing. You were stabbing a dude in this trailer on the back.
Oh, that's right. You
There
are.
might
Yeah.
be
Look like a
this might just
what?
be
Climbing.
Dragon's
There might be
Shadow of the
climbing, yeah.
Colossus, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Souls
I'm
hybrid.
down with that then. That's the case.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me, anyways.
But this comes out March 10th. It's so close. It's
Yeah, I can't wait
I'm
for
buying
it.
this. I do not care. I'm buying this off rip. But I think that should do it for everything. Unless you don't have another one, right, Pele? You're good.
Unless you want to help me complain about the clip we saw for Polite Society.
We were playing about that a little bit, yeah.
That was a boring looking game.
That is a movie.
Show.
Oh no, yeah,
Movie.
it's a show. It's a movie about it's a martial arts movie that's coming, I think, to Netflix later this year. We see in clip a Polite Society of where these two sisters, I think, Ebony and Descent, fighting each other.
Mm.
The fighting has problems.
The fighting has a lot of cuts.
A lot of cuts.
A lot of cuts.
And
Okay, so there's
very
this
quick
moment where
hits.
she, yeah, there's a moment here where she throws her fist out, and then the other sister grabs it, bends it off clip, but then the arm just suddenly goes up in the air. Like, wait, what? You just missed? There's so like not even attempt to pretend arm breaking. And it was like really weirdly done. And the next part, which is really confusing, when she grabs her sister's head and bashes against a picture on the frame on the wall,
Oh,
but
it
you can
looks so
obviously see
bad.
it's CG.
She's
Oh my
obviously
god!
not hitting the frame. And the picture is cracking. Like, it's very clear that it's not being hit.
Oh man, like it's so bad. And his thing, like it goes a little bit better down the road because when she kicks her through the door, she goes
Like,
flying
it looks good. It
through
looks
the
kind
door.
of good on that one.
Yeah,
It's weird because it's very obvious that it's Polite Society, right? That's the name of it again.
Mm.
yeah.
It has some
Society, yeah.
style to it that, like, any other time I'd be down for it. This sounds kind of fun. But this show needs some work. This show might need some
The
work.
execution's just real, and the fact that it's a martial arts focused one, like, oh come
Like,
on,
I should be interested
Oh,
in this. I should be. I should be off rip. It's just casual martial arts. Come on, that's fun. That's fun.
and but it's casual martial arts is done poorly. Like, oh come on.
Damn.
Oh well. I mean, hopefully it's just an early clip and they actually clean it up down the road. But if not, then
That's unfortunate.
fuck.
Truly unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I guess that's going to do it for the document and everything else. I mean, like, appreciate you guys for coming out and always watching this. Look, this is going to be our last episode, for season 2. After, not tomorrow, but the next day.
So it's
After
been
the
2
20th.
years now.
Yeah, after the 20th, it'll be our
Holy crap.
two-year anniversary. So this is the last episode.
2
of
years
season 2
old.
for
Yeah.
sure. Hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day that just passed, and hope everyone's looking forward to season 3 of Paper Play Action. We have a lot of growth and surprises planned that we don't want to announce just yet, but we have stuff on the way that we hope that all of you guys will look forward to. And we appreciate you guys for sticking with us for 2 years now. So that's crazy. We're gonna go into our third
that's
year real
wild.
strong though. That's the plan.
Yeah. Can't wait to start announcing stuff, you know?
For real. But once again, guys, much obliged, much appreciated. If you don't have any questions for us, you can send it to paperplayaction@gmail.com. You can answer it here. That is paperplayaction@gmail.com. Other than that, you can also hit us up on our Twitter, paper_action. There's a tip jar on those areas, pretty much, that you can go to if you want to support the show. Just wanted to throw us a little bit of cash money because, you know, we could always use it. But mainly it's just to support the show. If you like what we're doing, by all means, do what you wish. Also, more than anything else, if you like the show, the one thing we actually really appreciate the most is just spreading the word. Tell people about it. You don't pay for advertisements, so word of mouth is how we get around. The only way we can grow big is if you guys tell people about it. And well, we want to grow big because we just want to have everyone discuss and talk about stuff that we like and you guys like. So have fun with that. But I think without further ado, that is it. So good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Have a good night.